In politics, you're either on message or you are losing. Let's get to it. Welcome to On Message, a weekly look at where the battle lines are drawn and who is winning the war of words. This week, headlines matter. After taking much of the summer off to give the drought the spotlight, COVID-19 is once again a dominant force in the hourly news cycle. The term pandemic of the unvaccinated has taken hold, and many people are back to checking those COVID numbers in the headlines every single day. And that's where I think we could use some improvement. We need the important numbers in the headlines, and we need media consumers to be smarter about the terms we're reading. Since the beginning of the inverted pyramid style of journalism, which assumes few readers will actually make it through an entire article, so put the most important stuff first, nothing has been more essential than getting the headline right and the lead to follow that as well, that first paragraph. And that's even more true today as attention spans have shrunk to the size of a tweet or a TikTok. Take a look at KSL.com's headline from August 2nd, for example. It shows the number of cases, deaths, and vaccinations. That's the same information that's been included since the vaccine became available, but doesn't really convey the most important information. If this is truly a pandemic of the unvaccinated, then shouldn't the headline give us some indication of how many new cases and/or deaths were unvaccinated people? If not the headline, then surely the lead should have that information, but as you can see, it does not. Total case numbers matter, of course, but pointing out the number of people getting sick, being hospitalized, and even dying who have chosen not to be vaccinated, that seems to be the story we should be telling. Another storyline developing related to COVID deals with kids going back to school in less than 3 weeks' time. The media has been harping on Utah's prohibition of a statewide mask mandate, causing Speaker Brad Wilson to issue a statement earlier this week, reminding media outlets that local governments and health departments, quote, retain the flexibility to address new developments with the virus, including mask usage. Also, many stories will address the number of children who contract COVID while glossing over the fact that kids are usually asymptomatic and rarely end up in the hospital unless they have other comorbidities. Now, health officials will say students who go to school without masks will spread COVID and the Delta variant, which they take home and put adults at risk, and I'm sure all that's true. But those adults would overwhelmingly be the same ones who have chosen not to get the vaccine that has been readily available for at least 5 or 6 months now. Now, I admit, I'm not an infectious disease expert. I'm just a guy who's had COVID, had the vaccine, had my family vaccinated. I'm on the side of science here. I can also appreciate how difficult it is to manage a message like this. There's plenty of misinformation on the anti-vax side, but some of the narrative is aimed at scaring those who have already done their part, and that seems counterproductive. If the objective is really to get the unvaccinated vaccinated, stick to the numbers that will make it clearer and clearer that vaccinated people are much safer, while those who decline vaccines are putting themselves at a higher risk. Simplest message wins. Get it right and say it over and over. That's it for this week. More On Message in the next issue of the Utah Political Underground. Make sure you visit our website and sign up for our weekly email update as well. You can find more On Message videos, in-depth Utah political stories and analysis, plus podcasts and more at utahpoliticalunderground.com.